I'm Yankl Botwinik. May our Torah learning together today be a schus, a source of merit, for the refuah shlema, the complete recovery of Rabbi Reuven Bolka of Congregation Machzikei Hadas in Ottawa. Reuven Pinchas ben Yehudis. A highlight of this week's Torah portion is the giving of the Ten Commandments, an earth-shattering event that has reverberated through the ages and helped shape Western civilization in fundamental ways. I'd like to touch on one of these commandments, which I find fascinating because it's so non-intuitive, and it applies only to Jews. Remember the Shabbos to keep it holy. Shabbos, the warm glow of the Friday night candles, the delicious smell of freshly baked challah, the radiant faces of the children and guests around the Shabbat table as the traditional blessings are chanted. There's no email, no text messages, nothing to distract. The family and the community are truly together. Except, what happens to this picture if you're stuck at the airport on Friday night and the only way to have a decent Shabbos would be to violate some of the Shabbos laws? The Torah tells us that a Jew who willfully violates the Shabbos and has received the proper warning is liable to the death penalty. The death penalty? Really? Wow. What could possibly make the day so important? What could possibly make Shabbos that consequential, that holy? Shabbat doesn't actually mean to rest, as is often mistranslated. The Hebrew word Shabbat means to cease. From Friday night until Saturday night, we cease our normal weekday activities and bear witness that God created everything, the physical world, the spiritual world, time itself, us, and even our needs. If we don't conclude that major business deal or respond to that urgent email, the world will still turn. Shabbat puts human activities, which are often born of personal insecurities, in proper perspective, reminding us that God, not we, sustain the world. For 6 days, we are called upon to work hard and try to improve the conditions of our family, our community, and ultimately the world. And on the 7th day, we subordinate our personal agenda to the divine will, thereby proclaiming God as sovereign. On Shabbos, various rituals are performed, each of which is infused with meaning and helps sanctify the day. As well, there are 39 categories of activity from which we abstain: harvesting, writing, tearing, making a permanent knot, building a fire, and so on. Now here's the important thing. On Shabbos, we don't merely give lip service to God's sovereignty. We live in its reality. This consciousness accompanies our every move. So for example, even the most trivial act like tying my shoelaces or opening a bag of potato chips, I would do differently on Shabbos. I would do it in a way that doesn't violate any of the Shabbat laws. It's also important to appreciate that the numerous restrictions of Shabbos help us focus on the day. They are never the focus of the day. Throughout the ages, our ancestors were fired from their job and been subjected to worse treatment because of their steadfast refusal to violate the Shabbos. Why such self-sacrifice? It's because Shabbos is much more than about going to shul, listening to the rabbi's speech, enjoying the chazan's voice, and socializing over Kiddush. For Torah-observant Jews, and I hope increasingly for all of us, Shabbat is first and foremost an eternal sign of our faith in and allegiance to our Creator. The rest of the stuff is all icing on the cholent. Shabbat Shalom.